The COP28 summit has been an absolute train wreck. But we need to pay attention to what is going on in the commodities world, because if we see what is going on in rare earths, in the essential metals for renewables, what it is showing is that the monster disinflation in prices is because the trading world, the financial world, does not believe that governments are going to actually implement any of those real policies that have been announced. For one very simple reason. Governments are actually stopping the energy transition when they say that they're accelerating it. Why they're doing it? Because governments need inflation, and the competitive energy transition is disinflationary. That's why they present themselves as a solution to the problems that they themselves create. The European Union is now more dependent on coal, more dependent on natural gas. The reality is that an energy transition needs to be competitive, needs to be about innovation, technology, competitiveness, and competition. It needs to be about free markets. You cannot have a competitive energy transition without those elements. And by putting barriers to trade, barriers to imports, what the leaders of the developed economies are actually achieving is more dependency on fossil fuels for the future, as you will see. More dependency on China and Russia, because at the same time they ban the development of minerals that are essential for renewables, hence the lack of exposure that some of the countries continue to have. So ultimately, the big problem in the next 10 years is that the governments that say that they are accelerating an energy transition, what they're actually doing is stopping it. They're actually stopping it because a good energy transition only happens when the alternative is more abundant, cheaper, and more flexible in terms of transport and availability, etc., than the previous technology or resource. When the energy transition forgets competitiveness, innovation, technology, and competition, what you actually achieve is the opposite of what you try to defend. As we see, for example, in Germany, where now the dependency on coal is much higher, as we see in those countries that have shut down nuclear, where the dependency on natural gas is much higher. And as we see in those countries that are talking about renewables all day, but decide to ban the mining of essential minerals and metals for those renewables, and therefore become much more dependent on China and Russia, as it is logical. So, it is exceedingly important to understand that the only way in which we will have an energy transition that will be positive for growth, for productivity, for citizens, and for businesses is if that energy transition is competitive. And a competitive energy transition only happens when there is a free market and there are open opportunities for technology to really accelerate the improvement of the transition. And that is not happening because governments, my friend, benefit from inflation and they want more inflation. What this chart over here is showing you is that the market does not believe governments in their desires of a fully renewable environment for a very simple reason. Rare earths, renewables, etc. are declining. And they could thrive. They could thrive with competition, innovation, technology, free markets, and knowing that energy is not about ideology, it's about competitiveness. But they forgot about that, so they don't achieve what they pretend to defend. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel. like my videos, leave your comments below, and keep defending freedom. Thank you very much.